Hey Ranger Nation, so today we're going to be talking about episode 4 of Beast Mophers, which is Digital Deception. Now before we continue on with the video, if you want to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell, you'll be notified there'll be more videos when they drop, and there's going to be quite a few. We're also going to be doing a giveaway, which is for a lovely Power Ranger movie coin. Now these are limited edition, you can't get them anymore, and it has a lovely picture of the Red Ranger. So for your chance to win this, make sure that you stick around to the end of the video to kind of know how to win this. So let's start the review. We open up on the Beast Morphers HQ building with Ben and Betty carrying a lot of Valentine's Day gifts for all the Rangers. Everyone sent them in and everybody loves the Rangers. Now, there's one thing that I have to pick apart on this one. As Ben and Betty are taking flowers and stuff to the Rangers into like a big holding thing, whatever, a bee comes along and Ben turns around and says that it's a sterile place that nothing can get in, but yet they've got flowers which would, again, kind of not be the best thing for that. So I don't know why they put that one in, but again, a bee. So a bee basically starts buzzing around and Ben and Betty are there to kind of like chase the bee, but then the bee starts chasing them instead. One thing that I did really like in this one is that Betty just hits this guy, whack, and it's a proper whack, which is great. So yeah, that's actually quite interesting. Ravi is now talking to Roxy, well basically her body, because obviously we know that the evil avatar is about, and he's remembering about the last Valentine's Day that they had together, and it's quite a romantic one. We get a flashback scene, so we see them taking a photo outside this kind of like fountain. So again, I actually like the connection that they have, these two. I think it's one where it's going to rival a lot of past Rangers relationships. Our next scene is in the cyber dimension, and this is when Roxy is remembering her kind of past self. You know, she's got all this sort of memories, but without the emotion. So she is playing on the fact that it's Valentine's Day. She's going to get Ravi to join the team, and she's going to play on that and manipulate his feelings, which I actually really don't think that storyline has ever been done in the whole of Power Ranger history. So seeing something like this is something really weird. As Roxy is revealing her plan, Scrozzle is trying to butt in, and Evox literally just tears him a new one and says, no, let her speak. Let her tell you the plan. So now that they're saying that they're going to try and bring Ravi on board, you know, he can get more Morph X. And I generally would have thought this is a really cool plot device if this happened much later on. I think it'd be really cool. We jump to an outdoor scene where Nate is out and he's buying flowers for a special someone, and you kind of guessed it straight away. As he's kind of looking around and choosing the right one, it feels like it's actually a different scene, like it's from a film for some strange, bizarre reason. And then soon after, Roxy just teleports in. She creates a monster called Shoveltron, which we find out his name like much later on in the episode, not straight away. We get Mr. Digger, we get loads of different things, but Shovelmon is the monster's name, and he is instructed to make sure the Rangers come to the area rather than going for any Morph X. Nate does give him the name of Robotron and calls in the kind of like the HQ or Command HQ and says, hey, there's a monster down here. Then we switch to a scene where the Rangers are just sitting there. Devin is saying, hey, do you want a cookie? Zoe's like, no, I want a carrot, and that's my jam. And Ravi doesn't want any because it reminds him of Valentine's Day. At this moment, the Rangers are called to downtown because this is where Shoveltron is attacking everyone. Shoveltron is again attacking the city and attacking everyone, and the Rangers turn up and they're ready to fight. They summon their blasters out of nowhere, which I generally wish they summon them quicker. You could generally attack them when the blasters are there. It's just like, come on guys, seriously, come on. Make that faster. Get the transfer rate faster. They all kind of get split up. So you've got Devin and Zoe that are going after Tronics because they've been summoned in, and Ravi is going for Shoveltron. There's a point in time when Roxy is just watching what's happening, and she's kind of hidden away. So as Ravi is being pushed backwards, Roxy then throws in some stuff to actually make him fall over, and as Shoveltron is about to go in for the final attack, Roxy steps in, tells him no, just looks at Ravi, gives him the kind of look, and as therefore she teleports out after telling Shoveltron to kind of back off, that they need to go. This then makes Ravi go, oh my god, she saves me, she wanted to save me, oh my god. It starts the plan that Roxy had to begin with set in motion. Back at the base, the commander says, okay, so why wasn't the monster going after Morph X? You know, there's got to be something else. And then she turns around to Nate and says, hey, you're staying inside now for the rest of the mission and everything, all the time, forever, for definitely. You are the biggest asset to this place and we need you more, which then annoys Nate. Nate's like, no, that's not fair. And then we find out that he has to have a buddy. He doesn't like it because he thinks it's babysitting and he just doesn't want anything like this. As the commander leaves, Ravi now goes on about Roxy, saying that there's still good inside her. You know, that he can see his Roxy inside. But everyone's like, no, mate, she's evil. She's complete evil now, mate. Don't go there. You know, you don't want this. This then makes Ravi storm out because he's really angry. He knows that there's good inside her and that he wants to save her. We found out that there is a rule and that Ravi will stick to the rule even though that he's still in love with Roxy. With this being the main thing, they say that Rangers can't date anymore. And, you know, it's in the guidebook and Ravi sticks to the rules no matter what. At this point, we're now with Ravi in the park and he's thinking about Roxy. Suddenly, Roxy appears out of nowhere and hands him a rose and says, I don't want to attack, I don't want to fight, I just want to talk. They start reminiscing about how they first met, about Valentine's Day. And, you know, Ravi starts smiling. Roxy says that she needs a neural aligner which will be able to help them get rid of the virus to be able to help her become good. She's able to overcome the virus at times, but she definitely needs this to really get rid of all the virus inside her. And at this point, Ravi starts listening and then all of a sudden she has to go. She teleports out and the rose just disappears. So this therefore makes Ravi run back to HQ. Speaking of continuing scenes, Ravi is there. He walks into the building and he goes to Nate's lab. He asks Nate if the neural aligner would be able to make the avatars good. And Nate's like, well, actually, yeah, kind of, but we need a lot of research. You know, this could take months and months and months, which I'm guessing now will actually be a thing much later on that we will have like, oh, this is the idea that you had, boom, and it works. Ravi steals the piece of technology and he leaves. As we get the scene of Ravi leaving the building, Zoe and Devon walk in and they're like, hey, you know, do you know where Ravi is? You know, he's always early for training, but he's not there. Nate says, oh, he was just here a minute ago, and then notices that the piece of technology has been taken, and of course, Ravi has it. We now jump back to the scene where Roxy is in the park and where Ravi says, hey, I've got it. She gives off this cheeky smile like, yes, tricked him. So when he hands over the device, you know, she starts working on magic and he's like, oh my god, is this going to work? And all of a sudden, Shoveltron comes out of nowhere, gives Ravi that hug that he always wants, and Roxy starts the plan of transforming Ravi into an evil avatar, but is then stopped because of Devon and Zoe rushing in and blasting the actual device, which then makes it fall on the floor. And therefore, when Roxy contacts Scruzzle and says, hey, what do I do? He notices that the neural aligner is on the floor and instructs her to pick it up and bring it to him. And she does that and teleports straight away back to the cyber dimension. Finally, we have bad guys that do what they say straight away, not like, I'm going to give you 10 million backstory hours and must therefore lose whatever they have in their possession. Shoveltron calls upon more Tronics. More Tronics arrive. They all have a massive fight, and it's basically Devon versus the Tronics. We have then Ravi and Zoe off fighting Shoveltron, and they're taking it on one-on-one, and that's actually really kind of interesting. As soon as Devon is slowly going through all the Tronics, Scruzzle then turns around and sends a Betatron, I think that is, to the city that takes on the characteristics of Shoveltron. So there's two of them. At this point, we have Devon calling on his Zord that, well, actually it's been sent to him, and therefore he jumps inside that, and it goes through multiple things, from car mode to shooting stuff from car mode, then into cheetah mode to go past the missiles, and then go into Megazord mode to attack it. Or it goes car, Megazord, cheetah, Megazord. That's pretty good, or Zord if you want it. At this point, Zoe and Ravi are actually finishing off the monster completely, and they do it quite easily. At the same point, they take him off, so Devon takes out the monster, and therefore Zoe and Ravi do exactly the same, and it's like a straight boom, done in one go. We're now back in the cyber dimension, and Scruzzle is talking to Evox about a master plan that he's got, and therefore they need more Morph X energy, or there's technology or something to actually get him out. But he's kind of going against Blaze and Roxy, and they overhear everything, so you know straight from the bat there is bad stuff that's happening, and this therefore is now going to cause tension within the team. Boom! Okay, so we're coming near to the end. Ravi is turning around and talking to the body of Roxy, saying, I almost saved you today, blah, 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 blah. He then talks to Zoe and Devon and says, hey, you know, you guys are my family now. I'd be a lot more lonelier without you. And thus, therefore, they start walking out of the kind of the lab, and they start walking towards, I'm guessing, the hangar, even though they've got no intention to. And thus, therefore, a officer or a worker gives Zoe a bunch of flowers, and she reads that it's from a secret admirer, and Nate is kind of like poking around the corner, and I actually genuinely like this because I really want them to get it together. I really want that relationship to blossom into everything. The commander says, you have to go to the hangar because there's stuff there for you, you know, Valentine's Day gifts, and thus therefore we have Ben and Betty in the hangar trying to get everything sorted so they can give the Rangers their gifts, but they've got flypaper because they want to catch the bee, and then they find out there are 2 bees. They get stuck to the flypaper, and then that's it. And then the bees go into the lab. So I'm hoping, I would laugh if this happens a lot more because it would be awesome. And thus, therefore, the episode ends right there. So what are my thoughts on this? This episode is amazing. It shows that they've done a storyline that has not been done before, or very rarely, to the point where you're manipulating one of the heroes into doing stuff that he would not normally do. Roxy has this sort of power. She's got this cheeky smile. She is a villain, and I really like this because it shows that she has more depth to it. She's able to switch from good to evil at the drop of a hat. And this is just, she is one of my all-time favorite villains. She is just absolutely amazing. There's a lot more fighting. There's very hardly any Sentai footage. This episode just screamed that Hasbro can really do what they want and not really care. Oh, damn. This episode is just absolutely amazing. It's one of my favorites. I just love how all the character dynamic is. Obviously they're doing the whole thing of like the hero will believe his love compared to everyone saying, nah mate, she's evil. I feel that if Hasbro are going to be going on with this for a long time, this is going to be perfect. It's going to be one of the seasons that has very little Sentai, and it's all original footage, which a lot of people have wanted. I just generally love this whole series, and it's one of my favorites. It's possibly going up there with Zio. But I am going to leave it there. What are your thoughts on this? Do you like the episode? Did you not? Do you want to see more of this sort of like manipulation, those sort of adult storylines? Because this is not really aimed at kids. This is pretty much aimed at teenagers now, which is a very good thing. And as I said before in previous reviews, this is a breath of fresh air, which I'm glad to be a part of. So you've made it to the end of the video and you want to know how to win this coin. Very, very simple. Leave a comment on Beast Mophers. Who is your favorite character? What do you like so far? What are your thoughts on the series later? And what do you think that Scruzzle is going to be doing? And what his master plan is? Will he betray Evox to get that power? I don't know. Anything you want, let me know down below in the comments, and I will choose the winner for the coin in the next review of Beast Mophers, which should be out next week. So Rangers, your questions. What do you think about this? Are you excited? Are you not? Let me know down below in the comments. And then while you're down there, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and obviously hit the notification bell to be notified when more videos are going to be dropping. And as always, Rangers, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.